Hi, you guys. Welcome to a new episode of Too Much with Shey.
And Becca, hey y'all, how y'all doing? First off,
Welcome
I just want to
back.
start this episode off by saying this is a very special episode because one, as y'all know, Rebecca is Haitian, but sharing the same island as me is the Dominican Republic, and it's y'all's
As is.
Independence Day.
Yes. Yeah, no, we have had several episodes here where we discuss the tensions between Haiti and Dominican Republic. And today is also a day where some people are like, is it really independence? Is it this? Is it that? Aside from that, I know that is very important. Shout out to Dominican Republic. I love my island. I feel like every country has its that's controversial things. Like that's just what it is. And you can't stay here, no matter where you're from. There's always the controversial side of every country. So shout out to Dominican Republic. We have great food. I'm blessed to, have the best of both worlds. I'm Dominican and Puerto Rican. We have good beaches, good food, good everything, honey. No shade to the people, but it's like, imagine not having culture.
Girl, I be saying that sometimes. Yesterday, I
That's
was talking to my
crazy.
coworkers, and I was telling them, I was like, "There's a lot of things that y'all understand and like know, but like because I was raised by strictly like Haitian like parents, and I was
Yeah.
raised around my Haitian grandma and family, there's a lot of things that I never experienced until I was forced to get experience to it. And one of those things is microwavable rice. As a Haitian, my heart gasps every time. I didn't find out about
Powdered potatoes.
You said what?
Powdered potatoes, mashed
Oh, I
potatoes.
knew about that, but that's because mashed potatoes isn't really like a Haitian thing. We had to do a brief intermission, y'all. Anyway.
If y'all saw that, act like y'all didn't. Okay? The real girlies know why we had to pause and resume. Comment down below.
Love you, Dad. Oh, girl, we gotta
Shayla, please.
Get you a Shayla for real. But let's get into the weekly right now.
Yes.
What's happening? Girl, you got me hot. Go first.
Girl, life is life for Rebecca over there, child. So, as we mentioned, my birthday is this weekend. I'm turning 29. Shout out to me. Number 2, child, the snow been snowing. I don't know what's going on with this. Winter 2026 been one for the record books. I hope the last snow we had is the last one. Let us please wrap that up. But what I will say, unlike the other snowstorm we had, this one, the weather has been much better. Keep in mind, we're coming from single digit weather. So to us, 30 degrees, 40s is giving summer, honey. So the snow has been melting. Commuting to New York though in this snowstorm is crazy because are you aware what New York juice is?
New York juice, what's that, like super green? Super green or something.
Well, no, the New York juice apparently is, New York has a lot of buildings and scaffolding. So when it snows, right, the snow just stays there.
Oh,
and then when it's melting, you could literally have the cutest fit makeup, and then it just like random droplets just dropping on you, and that be blowing me. Because
I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I know, like, people probably gonna be like, Rebecca, you're so dramatic, but literally, this is how I feel about most things, but New York especially. I don't care what I am doing. If a drop of water in New York, I don't care if it's off the sidewalk, if it's off the building, if it touches me, I feel like I am melting instantly. It's like
it is disgusting.
Because you don't know what it is. It could be mixed with it's just
it could be a mixture of like bird poop and like 30-day-old food, and you just bloop. Like, and there's nothing you can do about it. You know what I mean? Like, I had a droplet of that and I literally wanted to scream.
And you can't even go home to go wash yourself because you like
my
45 minutes away.
So say no to New York juice. There's no way to control it. It is what it is, child. You just gotta let it drop and hope for the best, child. What else? I have something else to say. Again, it's crazy to wrap my head around people that have no culture. As you guys know, I am I be saying I be trying to date, but y'all know it just be in question. But regardless, I was talking to somebody, right? And like they said they wanted me to give music suggestions, right? And so I was like, oh, before I give like Spanish music suggestions, I was like, oh, before I do that, you should like, what type of music are you into? Because I'm not gonna give suggestions just willy-nilly. And they're like, oh, they mentioned like a lot of R&B in your field music. And so I was like, oh, okay. Like it gives like you're very into in your feelings music. And then the person says something along the lines of, this may just be my ignorance, but I feel like from the few songs I've heard before, Spanish music isn't as much in your feelings. I said, what? Spanish music isn't as, I'm like, in what world were you raised?
It's giving that meme, you know, that it's that white dude with the glasses. He looking like,
no, and comment down below, because again, the same way other people live in their bubbles, I may just be too deep into my Latino Caribbean bubble. I mean, I guess I can't even ask you because you're Caribbean, but like, have you ever heard that Spanish music doesn't have a lot of in your feelings music? I feel like if anything, it's the opposite. Like we're known like, oh, you like Selena. Like I'm like, what?
Like when he first started, I'm assuming it was a man, but
yes,
like when he first
correct.
started off with like, oh, like excuse my ignorance, I'd have been like, no, there's no excuse for it. That's ignorance, like period. Because like I just feel like it's kind of similar to me. Like I have friends sometimes who are like, oh, Rebecca, like I never like see you listening to Haitian music. I'm like, I listen to Haitian music every single day. They're like, oh, you never listen to it around me. I'm like, because you wouldn't appreciate it. Like you're not gonna appreciate compa like it needs to be appreciated. Like you may say like you love Haitian culture because of me, but you don't love Haitian culture for Haitian culture. Like you're not gonna sit there and listen to the songs and be like, oh, this beat is like fire, because like, you know, you used to the generic music beats that you hear in American music. So it's like, to me, it's just like.
So my thing is like, I know it don't take much for me to be turned off. Like I could have been all the way on you, and then you say one thing, and it's like, okay, well, switches off. And then I read that, and I'm just like, over it, because it's like I don't know if I can date someone that has 0% culture. And it's like, no shade, I get it, right? Like not everybody was raised in a diverse area. Like I understand that, but like for you to say that Spanish music, and he did acknowledge like maybe it is my ignorance. So I'm like, well, but I'm like, you've never heard Spanish music before for you to know that we do have in your feelings music. I don't know. Comment down below if am I being dramatic? Because no, that's a part of my personality, being dramatic.
No, but I completely understand what you're saying, because like even for me, like I just got the ick recently. Like this man's trying to talk to me, and mind you, he woke up at 7:47 a.m., sent me a voice note talking about some. Yeah, I'm just playing the video game real quick before I go to work. I'm like, it's 7:47 in the morning.
Is that serious? Dang. Did you even brush your teeth?
We are the problem.
I hope you get no shade. The game better be paying you for you to be up at 7 a.m. to get a game in before you go to work. Are they giving you a bag? What's going on?
Girl, in the background, I just hear pew, 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 pew. I said,
oh, it gives yuck. Comment down below. Are we being dramatic? I just asked for a little bit. I'm not saying you know every Spanish song. I get it. But for you to not even know that there are in your feelings music in the Spanish language in 2026, like, did you even see Bad Bunny during the Super Bowl halftime? Like, what do you? Anyways, people was crying. You ain't see that? What's going on? He said, "Oh, it maybe the."
Go ahead.
He said maybe it was the upbeat tempo. I'm like, child, I don't know.
Like,
anyways, that was your week.
Prince Royce song. You never listened to Aventura. Like, you never listened to none of that.
Well, that's why I'm like, maybe it's because I'm so like into my culture.
Iglesias? Like, huh?
Yeah. I think that's actually one thing that I might have to add to my list is you need to have a bit of culture, at least 10%, child, because this situation is giving 0, and I don't know if it's not a white person, it's black, like African American. Yeah. But let me tell you, there's varieties. It also depends where you're raised. You know what I mean? So I think I need somebody maybe not too
Who
suburban.
can meet
And if
you in the middle?
yes. Because if you way too suburban that you don't even know one Spanish song or genres, I just think that's too suburban for me.
She said, we not gonna really mix.
Yes. Just a mix. You know what I mean? How
No,
is
but I
your
get what
week?
you're saying. I really get what you're saying. Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, even one, like, I was talking to this other guy last week, and he was like, I'm like, what are you cooking? And every day this man was making rice and salmon. And I'm like, oh, like, do you cook anything else? And he was like, no, I don't really know how to cook much else. And I said,
But most men don't even know how to cook rice though. So I'm proud of him for that.
yeah, I was just like, but maybe again, we are the problem. So,
I don't think I'm the problem. I think
girl, you definitely ain't the solution.
what do you mean? I just asked for someone to be a little bit cultured so they understand that
They're gonna learn your culture.
well, I don't, but that's the thing. I don't want it to come off as, oh, you got to know everything about my culture because I don't know everything about, Black American culture. And I don't know if you guys have, you probably already know. We are very much into like Caribbean or like Black American men. Like, you know what I mean? That's just our preference. There's nothing wrong with that. You got your preference, we got our preference, and that's fine. And so I'm not like there's stuff that still to this day I don't know about. Yes, I was raised in Jersey, but there's a lot of American stuff, like Black American culture things that I don't know. There's so many movies that every time I talk to my coworkers, they're like, girl, you haven't watched that movie? And I said, girl, no, I haven't. And I get dragged for it. But I'm just saying, just like a little bit, like meet me halfway.
Yeah, the amount of times my black card been revoked, I'm like, baby, at this point, just deny it completely.
Black American card, yes. And like I get it, you know what I mean? I lack some knowledge in certain things. So I'm not expecting someone to know everything about Dominican and Puerto Rican culture. Like that's obviously not gonna happen.
Yeah. But my week, baby, let me tell y'all, Rebecca has had a week. Like it's been like hit after hit after hit. So as Shayla mentioned, we had another snowstorm, but this wasn't a regular snowstorm. This was a blizzard, like Dairy Queen. Like I when they said blizzard, I'm like, they talk about that in the movies. I ain't never real. I said, I don't even know what that means. So as you know, like Rebecca works in the media space. So as soon as like I heard snow, I was like, okay, like I already know y'all about the wild out in the grocery stores and everything like that. So Sunday hit. It's like I went to sleep at 4:45 in the morning. I woke up at 7 o'clock in the morning. Shayla, I know it'd be like that. So I already was in my head. I'm about to set up my new bed. I'm about to take my old bed apart. I'm gonna set up my new bed. I told Shayla that. I'm telling everybody I'm excited. I get a call from my boss at 12 o'clock. Hey, so we're getting hotel rooms for the blizzard. I said, oh, it's serious like that. Because, my job not even gonna offer to pay for stuff unless it's gonna be type serious. So I'm like, oh, it's serious. And she was like, yes, like, do you think you could come in today? Because you have to check into the hotel by tonight. And I'm like, oh, like I could be in a little later. And she's like, well, the storm is supposed to start around 3. I said, mind you, I already got my drills and everything out. I'm ready to undrill this bed. Can't even do that. Got to put a suitcase together. So I start putting a suitcase, everything together. Mind you, that was Sunday night. I'm off on Saturdays and Sundays. I go into work. I actually had to start working. And then I literally was about to tap out because, again, Rebecca's running off of 2 hours and 15 minutes of sleep. So I was like, y'all, I need to go to the hotel room. Literally 8:30 hit, black. I don't know. I counted sheep. I was gone, right? But then I had to wake up and I'm not supposed to start work till 1:30. We all had to be in at 11. So I was working from 11 to 11:30 Monday. Had to stay back in my hotel. Didn't go back into my house until Tuesday morning for 15 minutes basically before I had to, because I'm like, I need to cook something. Like I can't eat, like, I'm eating sandwiches and cereal. And like Shayla and I mentioned, that's not a part of our culture. Like I like a nice home cooked meal. I like to cook my own stuff. So I'm like, okay, finally getting to my house Tuesday, barely running on sleep because I left the hotel earlier than I needed to for checkout because I want to be in my home. I get to work. Then that's like what, Tuesday, Wednesday, we had to stay later because that's when we had the State of the Union, and Rebecca didn't get home till 12:30 a.m. So I've just been running on basically go, 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 go mode. Then Thursday, I'm gonna put y'all in my business. If you're a man, I'm sorry, but you got a mama. I wake up Thursday, I get my menstrual. I said, oh my God, I'm just, it's hit after hit after hit after hit. And I was just like, I can't do this. But on the bright side, today is Friday, February 27th, and Rebecca is going to go see Mariah the Scientist. Turn me up, burning blue.
I hope it lives up to your expectation because I know you love her.
Talk about it more a little bit later on in the show about some of the backlash that's facing her, but just know I know what I'm going to expect. Like, I know what to expect, right? I'm not expecting a grandiose performance, but I'm expecting something. So
do you think she's gonna bring? Do you think she's gonna bring anyone out for your? Like, you think Friday is gonna pop up again?
Listen. When I saw that she did that for Philly, I'm like, literally, we're right there. You could drive on the same tour bus. Like, pull up Friday, please. That's our cousin.
If not him, who else do you think may pop up?
A Boogie. I just feel like
it's A Boogie be everywhere though. Like, that wouldn't even move me. No shade.
I was explaining that to my coworkers. I was like, honestly, I've seen A Boogie. I've never been to an A Boogie concert, but I've seen A Boogie so many times. That makes sense. Like,
yeah, he said, if you're gonna pay me, I'm gonna pull up. Or he's just a very supportive artist, and for that, we
you know, like, support the tri-state. Like, do what you gotta do because you know where you from. You know,
is he from Jersey?
No, he from New York, the Bronx, I believe. But it's just like, support your areas. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was just in Plainfield a few weeks ago, and I was just like, what you doing here? Like,
talking about Plainfield, y'all, if you guys are from North Jersey or Central, there is a new club that is watch your mouth, watch your fingers. There is a new club that is happening, and as you know, we've discussed how North Jersey is where everything is at, and so their whole like background or vibe. Let's see, I'm trying to make sure I get the right number. It's Club 111, and they're based in Plainfield, so check them out. I feel like they've done really good at promoting because they popped up on all my TikToks and on my Instagram. So shout out to them. And if you do live nearby, their whole motto is like, you know, we want to create a social space in Central Jersey because similar to our dilemma, a lot of people that live in Central Jersey always got to drive up to North Jersey in order to go to a club or whatever. So if you are in the area, make sure you check out Club 111. They seem to be they got big things coming. So
honestly, and I just saw them again on my socials today. And I remember when I saw it with Shayla, I was like, we definitely gotta check them out because, you know, we support Jersey, period. And the fact that, like Shayla mentioned, especially when she comes to Central Jersey, Shayla be asking me what to do out here. I'm like, girl, I don't know. I don't hang out out here.
Because it's like she always drives over here, and you know, I like to drive in my terms. You know what I mean? So I get it. Like, having to drive at night for one event is just, it's a lot. No one trying to do that all the time. So I'm like, oh, what can we do around your area? And so I think we should definitely pop out one day to see what Club 111 is talking about.
Definitely, for sure, we could do that. I just have a few more things just to mention really quickly. I have never had an urge to go to Japan, like, ever. But Shayla, when I tell you I've been looking up tickets because we need to go see my baby Punch. Punch the monkey has my entire heart. The fact that those monkeys tried to bully him and now he's finding a family, and I'm just like, oh, him and this little stuffed animal be breaking.
Rebecca don't be caring about real life humans, but now she pressed about a monkey.
Girl, because Punch don't want to fight. And so that monkey need to find somebody who do. So I'm about to stand up for him because Punch, don't worry, I got your back. And then there's this one influencer, his name is Chris Olsen, and he traveled all the way to Japan and he be giving daily updates. He is doing the Lord's work. And mind you, in his update that he posted today, one of the monkeys pushed Punch. Ah! Girl, I screamed. I couldn't believe it. I said, that couldn't be my baby, not my baby Punch.
Yeah, this is the monkey that has been going viral for like hugging the teddy bear, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I feel bad for the monkey. When I saw the cute little memes, it's cute. But I'm real Caribbean in the fact that it's like, girl, it's an animal. You know what I mean? Like,
yes, but like, don't get me wrong. I don't care about all animals, but
It's not about care. I want everybody to be happy. We want no neglect. That is like makes me. But am I flying to Japan for a monkey? Absolutely not.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we gonna do other things, but the first stop will be the monkey.
Okay, girl, well, good luck with that, sis.
And so the next thing I wanted to say is I can't sleep comfortably in places that are not my own. Sleeping in that hotel for 2 days, I don't feel like I slept properly. I kept waking up every hour. My spirit was not at peace. Like I was just like, I can't like, yes, I'm grateful for my job providing me a place to lay my head because there's most places where, people don't have a place to lay their heads. I get that. But I do not sleep comfortably in beds that are not my own, in places that are not of my own comfort. So I kept waking up literally every hour on the hour, just looking around, go back to sleep. I was just so uneasy is it unease? Unease?
Are you asking me? I think it's at ease, but.
And my last thing that I'm going to mention. As y'all know, I'm a little delusional, right? Like as realistic and as literal as I can be, I do live in a state of delusion.
She has her Onika moments. Is that her name, Onika?
Onija.
Onija. Yes, she has her Onija moments.
Shayla, I thought you didn't want to talk about Nikki no more. What happened?
No. I'm talking about the girl that went to Pakistan and she said,
Onija. Yes, Onija Robinson. That's my girl.
Correct. That's who I'm referring to.
Yes, period. So, like I mentioned, I like to live in a state of delusion. And when it comes to my state of delusions, I like to romanticize things, right? And in my head, I swear I am going to find the love of my life in Chicago, Detroit, or Maryland. Don't ask me why. I don't know. I just, in my head, have romanticized these 3 locations. And I'm like, the love of my life is in Chicago, Detroit, or Maryland. In my head, I believe it so deeply to the point where like, no man who talked to me out here, I'm like, I'll let you stay right now, but I know the love of my life is in Chicago.
And keep in mind, she's never been to none of the listed states, just so you know. It's not like, oh, she went one day and it's like, oh, I love this place. This is where my man has never been. Never touched foot.
Ever. Actually, I did go to Detroit once, but we were driving through.
Girl, no, you didn't.
Yes. My aunt
driving by and actually like staying there is very different.
I get that. But like in my head, I just swear the love of my life is there. I'm like, my man is in one of these 3 locations. And I love Shayla down because like we mentioned, Shayla's birthday is coming up. And I mentioned how much I appreciate her. I love her down. That's my girl, my bookie, right? Shayla created a whole little itinerary already for Rebecca's birthday. And I'm going to Chicago.
I have been to Chicago and it was really good. When I went, it was like during the fall. So this time around it would be during the summer. So I'm excited. Hopefully everything actually makes it out of the group chat. Y'all know how that goes. Lots of ideas. Will it make it out? I'm hopeful, but who knows? Chicago has great food, great architecture. So I'm excited to hopefully go back for Rebecca's birthday.
Yes. So when we go to Chicago, I just want to know, like, I've been doing my research. So the people who are from Chicago, live in Chicago now as a transplant or whatever, where do y'all go? You know what I'm saying? I
feel like Chicago's real diverse though. Like it's not like a know what I mean?
I'm asking where do
they be everywhere.
Yes, but I want to know where they like to go specifically. Okay. So let me know, where do you guys like to go in Chicago? Because I want some suggestions. Like, I don't want to just go where the tourists go. I want to go where the locals at, because how else is Rebecca supposed to find her romanticized idea in her head, the love of her life, if she don't, go to where the locals at? I want the locals. Show me where y'all at.
Okay, so on that note, let us move over to our news segments. Don't run. Don't worry. I know some of y'all do not like to talk about news or listen to it. I say stay tuned. It's important to stay informed. But hey, I'm not about to dictate what you do in your life. So feel free to fast forward to our social corner or our sports corner. We have a little bit of everything for everybody, honey. But in the news segment this week, like Rebecca mentioned earlier in her weekly rundown, the state of the State of the Union happened. Essentially, that's like when the president gives a speech and he literally says like the State of the Union, like what's going on. They usually tout their wins, losses, where things stand. Like, this is what I've done. President Trump has been in office for a little over a year. So this is usually where the president expressed like all the things that they've done. And they're like, I'm this. Yeah, no. So that was that. Let me show you a little photo before I dive a little bit deeper. So that's President Trump in the middle, the vice president to the right, and then not to the right, to the left is JD Vance. And then to the right, I forget what his name is, child, but he's a very important figure in Congress. And
he like the Speaker of the House?
Yes, but I don't know if it's the House or Senate. It's one of the two. He's like a speaker of one of the chambers in Congress. His name is escaping me, but he's important. And so that was like, I think, one of the major things that happened in the news this week. But aside from that, right, Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton are testifying before Congress in connection to the Jeffrey Epstein documents. This is them right here. I mean, you should know what Hillary Clinton looked like, but just in case, that's Hillary and that's her husband to the left. Obviously, he ran for president. Well, he ran and was held office.
If you don't know who they are, baby, Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah, you know, the drama always brings people in. They're like, I may not know my history, but I do know a good drama.
She put the oral in oral office. You feel me?
Oh,
that's the oral.
Well,
you get what I mean.
Child, that's between Rebecca and God. I don't know about that. So this weekend news, to sum it all up, Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton are testifying before Congress in connection to the Jeffrey Epstein documents as lawmakers continue digging into who knew what and when. In my opinion, I think Donald Trump should really be the one testifying, but instead, he delivered the traditional State of the Union address on Tuesday. In it, he repurposed the same old storylines, focusing on border security and immigration enforcement, renewing promises of mass deportations, and defending his economic record while blaming inflation on the previous administration. One thing about Trump, he stayed bringing Biden's name up. I feel like while you're running for office, I feel like it makes sense because, you know, that's your opposing person. But it gets to a point, like, you've been president for a year plus. Stop mentioning Biden and the previous administration. Like, he literally every second word he is mentioning Biden. And if I'm Biden, I'm like, yo, keep me out your mouth. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. So like I said, he kept blaming inflation on the previous administration. Democrats this year had limited visible signage. Rep. Al Green was escorted out while flashing a sign that said, "Black people aren't apes." Some members chose to sit out while some attended and shouted during Trump's speech. If you know, the Democrats have often found ways to kind of like protest during the State of the Union. Sometimes they bring, you know, they all coordinate on the outfits, or they all have little bows. They just find ways to like kindly protest while these State of the Union addresses are going on. None of them be moving me, but Rep. Al is always going to bring up a sign, honey. So this is him. He was escorted out after he popped up this sign that says Black peoples aren't apes. And if you don't get the reference, President Trump had posted a video on Truth Social, which is his social media platform, where he tweets, or he truths a lot of fakes, honey. But anyways, he had re-shared a video that kind of put Michelle Obama and former President Obama into like this Lion King. It was like a racist video. And so that's why Rep. Al, I'm assuming that's the kind of the connection he made there. Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton having to testify about the Jeffrey Epstein case is just like, child, bring Donald Trump to testify. Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, again, every other week we see new influential figures being, you know, either arrested for it or put on the spotlight. And I just think that there's like such a big elephant right there, and we're choosing to ignore it. President Trump said, oh, this, that. He's trying to like move away from his connection to Jeffrey Epstein, but we all seen the photos and we know that they did have a relationship. And so Okay, like what can possibly come out from Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton testifying?
Apparently, at one point, they had asked her like about UFOs, and I'm just like, "What are we talking about right now?"
Child,
Like,
they want to force the issue so bad, but that's neither here nor there. Another thing this week that was big, Zohran Mamdani, who is our new New York mayor, made an unannounced visit to the White House this week to meet with none other than the US President Donald Trump. And he has been receiving a lot of backlash for it. Critics accuse him of legitimizing Trump and questioned why a progressive mayor, I called him, yeah, anyways, they questioned why a progressive mayor would align himself with the administration. Mamdani pushed back on critics, and he's saying like the visit was strictly about securing federal support for New York, especially to address the city's housing crisis and affordability issues. He argues that meeting with whoever controls federal funding is about results for New Yorkers, not politics. And this is a photo that has now gone viral. That's Zohran Mamdani and that's President Trump. And Zora brought in these like two like fake newspapers. The one that is to the left says Trump's the city, let's build. Kind of like Zoran saying like, hey, if you give us the money or you help us create more housing in New York, like this is how the world will perceive you. Here's my thing. I don't understand why people are mad about it. Like at the end of the day, if you trying to get stuff done, you have to speak to your opposition. Like, how is Zohran Mamdani not talking to the president ever gonna get you what you want? I don't see nothing wrong with it because
I
I don't know.
I was gonna say I didn't know that there was backlash, not going to lie to you, but I could see how some people are like, oh, like how did because during his whole like run, he was like
Campaign.
talking about like, how Trump isn't good for like New York, like he's not helping New York, this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, it's like, who's the president? Who do I have to work with? Like I don't understand why people are acting as if like we talk about as a society, why can't people just like people? Why can't we just come together regardless of our parties? And this is an exact moment of what y'all be preaching for, no? I just don't understand what would be the backlash. Like they have to work together. It's like inevitable. It's more like logical. Like
Yeah,
I
and
just
it's like everything has to pass by Trump, whether you like it or not. I get it. I think it would be different if if they were just seeing kumbayaing, at a corner store in New York, chopping it up, getting a little drink, eating McDonald's. Because yeah, I know Trump love him some McDonald's, but this is like a strategic move. He went there because he is trying to get things done. Because then the same people that are mad about this are going to be upset if Mamdani doesn't change anything, right? I know that he got a lot of not backlash, but a lot of people. What's the word? Like they. I don't want to say they clapped for him. What's like another word?
applauded.
They applauded the whole like $30 an hour situation that he got going during the snowstorm because people were like, "Oh yeah, we saw immediate impact, right?" Of course, people gonna be outside for the $30 an hour to help shovel and clean the snow, and it's like to that same effect. Sometimes you are gonna have to talk to the opposition to get stuff done. Like he not kumbayaing with the president, but he need him. He understands that in order to get things done, you got to know how to play the game.
Right. He went there for something. Like, and I
Right.
just think we also need to acknowledge like y'all hated Eric Adams. Y'all did not like Eric Adams. Y'all felt like he did nothing. And when he needed Trump, he was asking Trump for help for his own personal benefits,
Mm-hmm.
which was when he was going through his legal troubles. And now you got Mamdani going to the White House to work on issues that are impacting New York and things that people who live in New York and who go to New York for work see every single day. So I don't understand what the problem would be. And to your point about that $30 shovel program, apparently that was something that was like, it's been something that's been in the books. Like it's just people never activated it apparently. And I
Mm.
was just like he's doing I don't keep up with New York nothing because again I don't work in the city no more, but when I do travel into the city, that's when it's my concern. But it's
Mhm.
just like I don't know, I don't understand. People say they want difference, they want change, they want help, but sometimes you gotta work with the enemy to get what you need. Like that's just what it is.
Especially in politics, honey. There is not a choice. You have to. And to the point, I think what Mamdani does is he is very social savvy. He understands the power of social media. And to the point, like maybe the $30 an hour shoveling thing been a thing. But older people do not know, no shade. They don't know maybe how to inform the public on things and how to use social media as a tool to get people to understand like this is the thing, this is how to do it. And sometimes it's just like the lack of proper communication leads to things just being there and not being put into motion. And the last thing before we get into our social corner, there's been a lot of international news things that I don't want to say directly impact us, but it's like until it does. So I'm just going to read this little quick rundown. It involves Mexico, Iran, and Cuba. So internationally, tensions are rising on multiple fronts. In Mexico, a major cartel leader was killed in a high-profile operation, escalating concerns about retaliation and continued instability in regions already plagued by drug violence. When this news first came out, I was seeing on social media crazy videos of like in an airport, it went from 0 to 100 people involved with the cartel putting cars on fire. Like it gave movie drug cartel type vibe. And I'm like, I hope everyone is staying safe because that was crazy. At the same time, the US is facing renewed drama with Iran amid reports of weapon testing and growing fears that Trump could escalate tensions into direct conflict. Adding to the strain, reports say the U.S. struck a boat near the Cuban shore, killing several people and raising serious questions about what exactly happened in those waters. All I'm going to say is the U.S. needs to stay involved in the U.S. We got a whole lot of going on here, and I don't think we could get involved with Mexico. I hope we do not get involved with no escalating tensions with Iran or Cuba. Like, let us just please. We got enough going on.
Listen, all I'm saying is, you know the phrase, I think it's like the enemy of my enemy is my friend. I would hate for all these countries to say, America gonna stop playing with all of us and gather together. Baby, when I tell you,
I'm taking a quick flight to one of my islands. Puerto Rico or DR gonna have to see me, child.
Haiti, I know we going through some things already, but baby, I'm coming.
Girl, it's just so scary. And every day is some new tension. And it's like the US is always involved with everything. And I get it. Like we're seen as, you know, the US and we lead and we're charged. I don't know. I don't think we got too many enemies in it. Like Rebecca said, the last thing we want is all these enemies to line up and say, you know what? There's power in numbers. How about we gather in the name of love? You know how to be like step in the name of child. I don't know. It's getting crazy. Everybody, what Trump does has nothing to do with me, child. I rock with all of y'all. I love Mexico.
Right. We locked in the long way. I don't got nothing to do with that, my boy.
Oh, anyways, on that note, let us move over to happier things in our social corner.
Yes. Yes. Welcome to our social corner where we talk about some of the drama that's been hitting, you know, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, boom, bam, bam. You hear it, we said it, we spoke it. Okay. So the first thing we're going to talk about is something that happens at the BAFTA. What's it stand for, Shayla? It's like,
oh, BAFTA. I'm gonna tell you right now, courtesy of our one and only Google, the British Academy Film Awards. It's an annual film award show hosted by British Academy of Film and Television Arts to honor the best British and international film contributions.
Period, right? We appreciate the film industry. It be helping me when I'm bored. Okay. So the thing we're going to talk about is one of the incidents that kind of overshadowed the whole thing because everybody's been talking about it. So John Davidson, a Tourette syndrome's activist and inspiration behind the film I Swear, has spoken out after an incident at the BAFTA Film Awards in which his involuntary vocal tics included the N-word and other slurs. It was broadcasted during the ceremony. Davidson said BAFTA had assured him in advance that any swearing would be edited out out of like the television broadcast, right? He believed both BAFTA gonna tear me up,
That
okay,
word's tearing you up, girl.
girl, because it's anyway.
BAFTA.
BAFTA, both BAFTA and the BBC should have better prepared given their prior knowledge of his condition. In an interview with Variety, Davidson explained the Tourette's, which affects a minority of people with the condition and can cause involuntary use of offensive language with no intent behind it. He described feeling overwhelmed, shame, and distress after the incident and emphasized that his tics do not reflect his beliefs or values. The controversy erupted when an audible slur was broadcasted while Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo were presenting an award. Davidson later left the auditorium to avoid causing further disruption and watched the remainder of the ceremony from a private room. He has since reached out personally to apologize to those affected. The fallout has been significant, with both BAFTA and the BBC issuing apologies and BAFTA announcing a formal review into how the situation was handled. So I'm going to play the video really quickly. Also, this is John Davidson. If you wanted to know what he looks like, this is him. And then I'm going to play for you guys the incident that happened at the BAFTA Awards.
Deborah and I are delighted to be presenting the first BAFTA of the night for a vital part of movie making.
We're here to
It's not funny. I swear it's not, but it was the pause. Because I just know if I was there, huh? Right. And apparently, they had already made an announcement during I don't know if it was televised or anything like that, but they had already made an announcement to everybody in the room that there is someone who has Tourette's. So if you hear any outbursts, vocal tics, or offensive language, that is what, and they gave some details into it too. But it was just for me, right? Shayla and I talk about this a lot, how we work in the media space. And when we work in the media space, especially with things that are pre-recorded, there are things that you make notes of things that need to be edited out. There's things that need to be done, and there's things that need to do this. I am not going to speak to I guess you would say, what would you call it? A disability?
The outburst. Yeah.
Well, Tourette's is technically a disability, I'm assuming you could describe it as. Let's just say I'm not going to speak to Tourette's, because again, as someone who I don't think I've ever encountered someone with Tourette's, and I also never experienced that myself to say that I can, when you have Tourette's, you don't say something offensive, or I'm not read up on Tourette's for me to sit there and make that assumption. But what I can say is, as someone who has worked in the media industry for years, they dropped the ball immensely. If that you can't tell me out of all moments that that's not something that's on the top of production notes, that needs to be edited out. You can't tell me. Apparently he had other outbursts throughout the entire show, but I didn't hear nothing about those other outbursts, but I heard that one. Right. And I'm going to say for Shayla and I get it, it's a production of people, there's a bunch of different people, a bunch of different eyes and ears and hands that go into a show, that they all should have clocked that. Shayla and I are just two people. And last week in the show, when Shayla and I were talking, I had said something, that's not in my vocabulary, but could be offensive to other people. And Shayla didn't know what it meant. But I told Shayla, I said this, and that's going to be offensive to people that I know watch us. So I'm going to edit it out. Mind you, that's Shayla and I. That's two ears. I said 2 ears, 4 ears, 4 eyes. That's going through us. If I could clock something like that for us, and that's just us two, and it could have easily went out of my mind after we ended recording the show, I made sure to make note of that in my phone and tell Shayla I'm going to actively edit that out, because I don't want anyone to be offended.
Right. Yeah. For me, I definitely agree with you in the fact that I don't know much about Tourette's disorder. And also in the same wavelength, if people did feel offended by it, I also can't be mad at that, because to each their own. I feel like we've said this several times. I can't tell people how they receive or how they feel about a certain interaction. Like, I'm me and that person is that person. I do think that, like you mentioned, they dropped the ball in terms of production. This is not like this is pre-recorded, which means they recorded it and they had a say into what actually the public gets to watch, right? And so I was watching, one thing about me, I'm a research something. So after I saw that this was a thing, right, I started Googling and researching because he did drop a documentary that is kind of around the same lines of on Tourette's and how it is dealing with that, whatever. And one of like the press tours that he did an interview with somebody, and in it, like, he has discussed how he doesn't have it's like involuntary, like it just comes out, it doesn't have a say. And so for me, I can't comprehend that, because I would never understand that, right? Because I do, thank God, have the ability to like pick and choose what I say. So it's like I can't say, oh no, you did have a say into what you said, because they're saying that that's a part of Tourette's. You don't have that kind of like nerve connection to decide what comes out your mouth. Like, that's the whole disorder. So yeah, I know whoever the EP was, whoever the editor was on that, they definitely got a lot of backlash. And no shade, that's a part of the business. You're getting paid too much money. And I mean, actually, let me not say you're getting paid too much money, but at the end of the day, you did drop the ball, because as Rebecca said, in 2026, anytime the N-word is mentioned, that needs to be number one. And if there was higher than a number one, you know that edit must be done immediately. And
Girl,
so
when I say like production notes would have been, the group chat would have been at 12.
yeah, I'm sending the notes, highlight, red, circle, exclamation. I'm making calls because I'm sure there's more than one editor on this, because this is a big production. I'm calling every single editor. Please make sure that this is cut out. Please make sure that this is cut out. And
I need to watch it myself.
Yeah.
I need to watch it myself. And like, this is like, I just want to make this last point, right? I've been seeing a lot of people who are like kind of on both sides, where some people are like, oh, and like Shayla mentioned, to the people who got offended, I completely understand why you got offended.
Right.
And to the people who are more understanding to the Tourette's disorder, then you know your understanding is going to be completely different from the other side, right? I just feel like as a society, especially when it comes to Black people, it's like the way and urgency of prioritizing their emotions and their mental health is not to the same standard of other communities and other races, right? Because if his involuntary tick had included a slur for the Jewish community, if it had included a slur for, and I'm just saying, the LGBTQ plus, or like any minority, like any group that includes like European or anything like that, if it was something like that, that would have been cut out right there and then.
Yeah, and I also think it was, like you mentioned, like the timing of it. Like, but we
Exactly.
also don't know. Like, maybe he did say it in other parts and those were cut, but this one didn't make the cut. I don't know.
Right. I just feel like when it comes to like incidents that involve Black people, it's always like an afterthought. It's never approached with a sense of urgency. So the people who are saying like, oh, like you shouldn't be offended, like get over it, it's kind of ridiculous to me, because even as someone who grew up in a predominantly white area, I could sit there and tell you right now, I know until I made it a conscious decision to learn this about like myself, I didn't know much about Black history. I knew way more about the Holocaust though. I could tell you everything from like the start of it to the end. I could tell you all the different movies if you want to know about the Holocaust, which ones you could watch. Until I got to college and started learning things on my own and making it a point for me to know, I didn't know nothing about it. Because as a society, we make sure when it comes to things that involve Black people, it's always an afterthought. It's always
put in the back burner.
Exactly. It's always like oh, okay, maybe we can give them that. But when it comes to other cultures and other communities, we are always at the forefront of making sure people are knowledgeable when it comes to them. And that is unfair. it's disrespectful, and it's actually annoying. Right. So again, when it comes to this whole thing with John Davidson, I don't know anything about Tourette's for me to sit here and say, oh, that's like, I don't know him also to say that that's not his beliefs, that's not his morals, that's not this, that's not that. I don't know this man. All I can say is, as someone who has a media background, production dropped the ball. And then also when it comes to the sense of urgency, when it comes to Black people, it is never there, because just hearing that outburst could offend so many different people that are within the Black community. And the fact that that wasn't a sense of urgency for production bothers me. And John Davidson, listen, I get what you're saying. And he said that they assured him that they would cut it out. If I knew I had a disorder like that, I'm checking in with y'all every day. Hey, I just want to make sure.
At the end of the day, they're not going to send him the final edit. You know
I
that.
get that, but I'm going to make sure that y'all don't forget.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
But that's just me. So the next thing that we're going to talk about, baby, because it's been a drama-filled week, okay? We are going to be talking about how it's T.I and family versus 50 Cent. Okay, so there's been a lot that's been going on between T.I and 50 Cent over the years. And again, as like we go through all these different years of drama, like you kind of forget things. So I kind of wanted to give you guys a little bit, not too much background into like their beef, but like kind of like the evolution of it. And then of recently, right? So 50 Cent and T.I are locked into a heated online feud that has escalated into diss tracks, family insults, and social media trolling. Their tension dates back to the mid-2000s when both were at the peak of their careers. Competitive energy, subtle jabs eventually turned into direct shots, particularly after T.I.'s 2007 gun arrest. When 50 Cent accused him of cooperating with authorities, the beef resurfaced over the years, especially around discussions of a potential versus battle, which is a popular live music series where two artists perform their hits side by side in a friendly competition format, right? So T.I claims that the two had privately agreed to participating in this versus battle, with him announcing it first and 50 Cent confirming it later. However, after T.I went public, 50 allegedly acted unaware and began mocking the idea, which T.I interpreted this as disrespectful and questioned 50 Cent's character. So things escalated in February of 2026, which is this year, after T.I reignited the versus conversation in interviews accusing 50 Cent of ducking smoke. So in response, 50 took to social media, posting unflattering images of T.I.'s wife, Tiny Harris, and mocking their son, King. And then King fired back with some harsh comments about 50 Cent's late mother, Sabrina Jackson, who died when he was a child. The feud intensified with multiple diss tracks, including T.I releasing War and The Right One, directly targeting 50 Cent's personality, appearance, and personal life. And T.I.'s sons, Domani and King, both joined in on the diss tracks, and they both referenced 50 Cent's late mother in conversation, like the controversy, basically, right? So if you don't know what they look like, this is 50 Cent and T.I. 50 Cent is on the left and T.I is on the right. If you didn't know what they look like, here you go, boo. I got you, right? So when I saw this, it wasn't until I saw King, which is one of T.I and Tiny's sons, like I saw like his, like he was going off on social media. So I'm going to play for you guys. One, it's like a side-by-side, a photo that 50 Cent had posted of Tiny. And it's also going to be of King talking about 50 Cent and his mama. Baby, when y'all look at this, y'all see.
Say something about my mama. Your mama dead as Your mama dead as Go dig her up. Go dig her up. Post a picture of your mama. She dead. Pay respect. Stop playing with my mama. Playing like that. Ain't going like that. How y'all raised? I'm not raised like that. I don't go. I'm not going about my mama. I'm not going. So tell your dead mama dig her up and post a picture that look better than my mama. What's wrong with you? Y'all better tie y'all shoes. Y'all know who y'all with. You better put that music up and shut the fuck up. Cause all that ain't gonna get it. On my mother. Your mama dead as fuck. Dig that up. Post my mama like your mama ain't dead as fuck. Go put some flowers on that grave. Man, post some.
Right. So basically, in the photo that that 50 Cent had posted of Tiny, he said, I keep saying, keep my name out your mouth. Okay. And that's when he posted like the photo of like Tiny. And, Tiny's had surgery over the years. So, some things look a little different. You're muted, my love.
Thank you so much for that. My thing is, before you give your deep dive into how you feel, I've been very clear on this podcast, on this platform, actually to everybody on this earth. There's not a lot of things that trigger me. Actually, that is a lie because I'm a reactive person. But one thing I don't play about is my mom. You know what I mean? Like growing up, I always told people, when your mama jokes was a thing, don't ever make no jokes about my mother. I'm not funny. It don't move me. I don't care. So I think once you mention my mother in a derogatory form, or you try to be funny, or you say any disrespectful things about my mother, all bets are on. You know what I mean? If you mention my mom or you drag her in any type of way, or you try to be funny, I think that's a green light for me to do the same when it comes to your mother. Yes, does it suck that your mom passed away? Absolutely. But girl, I'm stuck. Look at God.
Oh, she coughing. So
okay, no.
Oh, go ahead.
Just to finish that point, 50 Cent knew that his mom passed away, and 50 Cent is not new to drama. He loved drama. He's always stirring up drama. Always, all the time. So you knew your mother's situation, and you still chose to drag who you dragged. And so therefore, yes, they are going to talk about your mother, and anything that comes after that, I think it's acceptable because you started it.
Oh, Shayla, I'm glad we're on the same page. I didn't know where you were going to lean. Not going to lie to you.
Oh, I don't play about my mother. So anything involved moms, I'm off. If you start, that's the thing. If 50 Cent hadn't started it, then maybe it's like, oh, like, why are you bringing up his mom that passed away? You started that. You mentioned my mom, and so all bets are off now.
So, as Shayla and I have discussed on this podcast, when it comes to my mom's children, which include me and my sister, I am the crash out child, correct? When it comes to my friends and my family, and you come at them, especially in the presence of me, or I find out about it, when it comes to my friends and my family, and you start with them, I'm the type of person you gotta shoot to shut me up. And even if you shoot me, you gotta kill me, because I'm not gonna stop, because I'm gonna still talk even with a bullet in me. Because when it comes to especially my family, baby, they irritate me. They get on my nerves. I don't care what they did to you. You don't talk about them. Especially don't let me find out. Because, baby, all bets are off. I've said worse for less. Okay? So, 1000%, I don't agree with King on many things. But when I heard him say all this, I did not feel bad at all. When he said, dig her up, he ended up posting a picture of, like, the grave. He said, I should, like, everything he said, I did not disagree with at all. And then all the kids came stepping behind their mama. All the kids, Zonique, Domani, like all of them said something right back. Like when it comes to family, you need to learn to pick your battles, okay? And if it was a beef, like when it was beef between 50 Cent and T.I, nobody was saying nothing. Everybody was letting y'all do like y'all healthy discourse, this, that, and the third. Boom, boom, boom. Y'all got it. That's beef between two grown men, correct? The moment you want to sit here and include someone who I consider my pride and joy, right. Keep it cute. I don't feel bad for 50 Cent at all. And I saw some people saying like, oh, like let the dead be the dead, like leave them all alone, like you should never don't disrespect me and I won't disrespect you.
Right. And also he tried to post a photo of Beyonce's mom, Tina. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was deleted immediately because he knew what was going on. I don't know if someone sent a little message, a little red flag. I don't know what it was, but the post didn't last but a minute, if that.
And 50 Cent is a professional troller. Like, he trolls so many people. Like, him and Ja Rule have been going back for back, tit for tat for years, right? They have been in this petty battle of trolling for years. But it's like, that's been between you and another person. The moment you drag someone who I couldn't sit here and somebody going back and forth with me and I see them drag Shayla into it, because now all bets are off. All bets are off. Like, I remember this was not a few episodes ago. This was like months ago. Shayla and I had did an episode. We were talking about something when it came to we were talking about how I don't think because my friend was like, oh, you're going to find the love of your life in the cereal aisle of the grocery store. And I was like, the love of my life is not at no grocery store. And if I look at a man's shopping cart and he just got cereal, I don't want him, right? And so somebody had went to my profile and was just like, of course you wouldn't want a man with who eats cereal because you probably want to eat all the groceries, something like that, right? And when I went to his profile, I saw that he said R.I.P. Pops. And then that's when I said, okay, which grocery store is your father at, right? And so then he blocked me.
But see, here you're wrong, because you bringing up someone's child. I mean, someone's parent.
Girl, you came to my profile to disturb my peace. I'm going to disturb your peace as well.
Okay, I think what you're saying and what we're discussing are two different things, but
disrespect is disrespect. And sometimes I'm gonna meet you where you found me. I was at peace, minding my business. You came to my profile to be disrespectful and to try and be like, oh, okay, let me make a big girl joke. Okay, so when you make a big girl joke, I'm gonna make a dead father joke. Now you blocked me because your feelings are hurt. When if you had kept your mouth shut and left me alone, we ain't even had to have this conversation. So all in all, to say, I don't feel bad for 50 Cent. King, you come get your baddie chain. Okay, you did that. What he said? Dig your mama up.
To me, it's not. I hate that I even had to go there, because again, I don't want anyone making fun of my mom. Just my whole thing is I can't feel bad for someone that started the whole situation.
Of course. That's and sometimes the best way to learn is for you to experience it. So it's like, you want to sit here and you troll, and a lot of people that I said T.I, that 50 Cent has trolled, some of them will do say clapbacks to him, but he's slick out the mouth, so he's gonna say worse and worse and worse stuff. But it's
you found your match. You found your match.
Met your match. You got the whole family. And when I say diss tracks, baby, it's not just regular diss tracks. King did his own little diss track, and he got a whole shirt with 50 Cent's mama on it, bruh. I say,
yeah, they for sure committed to the whole bit. Committed, baby. They got diss tracks, they got photos, Photoshop, graphics, t-shirts, merch.
That group chat I know was on fire that day. Okay. But that's why I said, my mama already knows. Don't tell me that nobody said nothing to you unless you really want me to get activated. And don't let it happen in front of me. Shayla has seen how I get. I don't need my mama know how I get, but she don't need to see that. She needs to see me as the fun-loving child that she think I am, even though she know my mouth's type reckless. But leave my mama alone, leave my father alone, and oh, for sure, don't speak about my grandma. Oh, y'all have to send me to Guantanamo Bay about that one, man. Okay. So the next thing that we are going to talk about, I mentioned it a little earlier in the show. Rebecca is going to go see Is It a Crime? Yeah. I'm about to go see Mariah the Scientist. Yeah, period. And there's a little bit of backlash that has been presented to my good sis. Okay. So Mariah the Scientist fired back at a commenter who accused her of benefiting from light skin privilege and criticized her dance moves while on tour. In a lengthy response, the singer said that she once allowed negative opinions to affect her, but has since grown past that mindset. She shared that she's most flattered when people recognize her and enjoy her music without even knowing what she looks like, emphasizing that her talent speaks for itself. Mariah also addressed critics who have labeled her as dumb or just a pretty face, saying her success requires intellect and creativity. She highlighted that her current tour is sold out with 125,000 tickets sold independently and described the experience as packed fans who know every lyric, right? So I'm just gonna I'm just gonna show you guys the post, basically, where it said what the actual hell. It's basically she does this little two-step kind of thing, it's and it's her whole thing is her album, this one was like Heart Sold Separately, I think that's what it's called. And one of her sticks is like, they're all toy soldiers in this battle for love kind of thing, right? And so like she does this little dance that like gives like a little like toy soldier move. Like if you ever watched Toy Story, the little toy soldiers that they got, like they just move like real stiff or whatever like that. So as someone who is a Mariah the Scientist fan, and this is going to be my first time ever seeing her in concert, and I've seen past concerts that she's had and like her stage presence and everything like that. I, as someone who purchased the Mariah the Scientist tickets, I am not going to the Mariah the Scientist concert expecting to see a full-on like jig jive. I'm not expecting to see spirit fingers. I'm not expecting to see a backflip, a cartwheel with a dang tambourine in her hand. Like, I'm not expecting to see that. That has never been what I'm expecting to see. And that has never been Mariah the Scientist.
Right. She's not known for her performances. It's her songs and
the lyrics and everything like that. Like that is exactly what you are going for. You are going to sing with a whole bunch of other people who are fans of her music, who feel her like lyrics deeply, and to hear her sing her the songs. That is what you are going for. And so the fact that this girl said that this is light skin privilege, as someone who, as you can tell, I've been dark skinned my whole life. The only time I was ever fair skinned is when I popped out the womb and I was white, baby. They thought my parents kidnapped me. That is the last time I ever experienced any fair skinnedness in my life, right? So as someone who is dark skinned, who loves Mariah the Scientist, and also understands that her performance level is not Beyonce. Nobody is going and expecting to see a full-on production from Mariah the Scientist because that's never who she was. So for someone to sit there and say that it's light-skinned privilege, it's like, girl, you are a hater, because the same energy that y'all have for Mariah the Scientist, do y'all have that for Summer Walker? When she sits on that stage and everybody sits there, well, she has social anxiety, so she's just sitting there gripping the microphone pole and swaying side to side and singing. Do y'all have that same energy? Because I remember when people used to sit there and be like, oh, well, she needs to go and get therapy for social anxiety. Like, she on that stage doing nothing. But at the end of the day, you got to understand who the artist is. Not everybody is going to be a Beyonce. Not everybody is going to do performances like Chris Brown, because that's not who they are. So it's just like, to me, it's like, for you to sit there and be ignorant and get on the internet and make such an assumption, you don't listen to Mariah the Scientist. You just talking out your wazoo and hoping that you trend, and baby, you trending now. Look at you.
Yeah, for me, I feel like I don't know enough about Mariah the Scientist, but what I will say is I've never known her to be connected to performing and, oh, she's such a great dancer. When I have seen her, it's just, her like, I'm just a girl type of vibe, and like her lovey-dovey, just her and Young Thug, Toxic Love. So yeah, I think, like you mentioned, not every artist is a performer. And if you are a real fan, you know what you get into, right? Like, Beyonce is Beyonce. When we went to see Friday wasn't out here dancing, but we still had a time, right? Because we understood we're there for the vibe and the music. Rod Wave wasn't out there moving his clavicles or his shoulders. That's not him. It was literally just him and his microphone. And that's when I think artists depend a lot on the production team, right? To amp up and have the stage light up and this and that, because not everybody.
If you want to see dancing, she has background dancers on the stage. Stare at them. Like, I don't understand. It's like, to me, and it's like, yes, I know we're talking about Mariah the Scientist, and I brought up Summer Walker, but at the end of the day, you know the persona of the person that you like. Like Shayla mentioned, when I went to Rod Wave, I would have been surprised had I seen a two-step. I would have been shook. I'd have been, we're switching it up for the people. Right? When I see Cardi B, everything I've been seeing her do during her tours, that's what I expect from Cardi B, because Cardi B wants to do performances. She wants to not only show you the song, but she's also going to dance, show you her personality, show you who she is, because that's who she is. That's the type of artist that she is. If I saw her just standing there with a mic doing nothing, I would be surprised. Right? So it's just like, for you to sit there, get on the internet and say this, it's like you don't know who she is and you wanted to run your mouth. And baby, congratulations, you made it to the Too Much with Shey and Becca podcast. And we're talking about your dumb behind.
Well, we don't want to be calling nobody down. That's from Rebecca, not from the Too Much brand. That's just from her to.
I said it from my vocals.
Okay, the next topic that we want to get into is Netflix, honey. I know we've discussed in several episodes how it was looking like Netflix was really about to take over and purchase Warner Brothers, but child, in a turn of events, honey, that has been chopped. Okay, Netflix has officially walked away from its bid to acquire Warner Brothers Discovery Studio and streaming assets, clearing the way for Paramount, now backed by Skydance, to potentially take over the entire company. After Paramount Global raised its offer to $31 per share for all of Warner, it cannot be $31. It was a big, hefty amount that Netflix, that let me see. It wasn't, let me confirm this.
$31 per share is referring to like stocks.
Yeah, but the moral of the story is Netflix said, yeah, I want you, but I don't want you that bad. And so they, the other person that was up next gave up a higher bid, and they said, baby, how about this much? And of course, we've discussed several times, money talks. And so now it looks like Paramount will be buying Warner Brothers if everything goes their way. I honestly don't think that Netflix needed Warner Brothers. It would have been cute because they do have a lot of, movies and a lot of fans when it comes to Marvel and all of those great tips and tricks. But Netflix got a lot going on, and I don't think they were about to increase how much money they were going to give Warner Brothers. They were like, child, we hope, but not, if not, y'all can keep that. We good. So we'll see what Paramount does with Warner Brothers if it actually all comes together.
Oh, I'm sorry. Deanna's coming over. That's what I'm over here looking at. But no, honestly, when I was reading this, I was just like, I need like everything when it comes to these streaming platforms. I just feel like it's getting away from the original creation of it, right? It's like, oh, you go here for this, but it's like I could still watch this here. And I just feel like because we're such we're becoming a streaming society, it's like all these streaming services and everything like that are literally going back to, like, it just feels like cable television without the cable. If that makes sense. It's kind of just like, what is y'all's goal? Like, what is it that y'all want?
Yeah. And to that point, I want to kind of like circle back to, it is $31 per share, but I feel like most people don't even like, girl, what's a share? Nobody understands those terms. But Paramount offered approximately $111 billion to acquire Warner Bros. Discoveries with a bid of $31 per share. So when Netflix saw that $111 billion, they said, yeah, Buki, y'all could keep that. We will be fine without Warner Bros. Discovery. And like Rebecca said, I feel like at the end of the day, all these streaming networks, platforms are conglomerates. They all are cousins, brothers, uncles, daughters. Like, they all involved for real. And so with or without Warner Brothers, Netflix is still going to thrive. And yeah, they're still going to make money regardless. So we'll see how all of that ends up. And the last thing I wanted to get into is, y'all know I do like Bad Bunny. I'm Puerto Rican, and anything about Puerto Rico, I'm there. And so, the maracas are there. We'll keep them for the performances, child. This is no performance. The topic has nothing to do with a performance, but Bad Bunny, if you know, a few years back was connected to Kendall Jenner. The streets were saying that they were dating, and no shade, I was side-eyeing. I think you're such a like Latino icon, and you talk about your culture and like speaking Spanish and just everything about Latinidad, that it just felt a little bit crazy for you to be dating a Jenner. Like, I don't know. To me, maybe that's mean. I don't know. But it just seems to be a
No,
disconnect.
yeah, the whole family is a culture vulture. So it's like the fact that you sat here and you went and were like, oh, I'm gonna get tied to her. It's like,
Well,
and
I
also,
don't think he went like that was the plot. Like, oh, I'm gonna do
no,
it
I
on
get what
purpose.
I know, but what I'm saying is just like, it's like you're such an advocate, and that's who you decide to be tied to. Is kind of like, sir, what?
Right.
That can't be that good.
So along those lines, when those rumors were happening and they were seeing public a lot, baby, I shed a tear. I said this cannot be it. But I'm happy to report that it seems that that is no longer a thing, and he is actually has been seen outside with one of his OG girlfriends, Gabriela. Okay, and when I mean OG, I mean OG. They've been together since before he had all of this crazy fame. This is them before. That's Gabriela to the left, and that's Bad Bunny. Most people don't even know that that's Bad Bunny. Like, that was Bad Bunny when he was still on the come up.
Okay, so that's old.
Yes, this is to show why I'm excited. He's back with like his girlfriend that's been with him before all of the fame, like Island Girl. They met while he was in Puerto Rico and all the great things. So this is like the photos that have been resurfacing now. That is Gabriela today in the flesh, and these are the photos that
body. Okay.
Hello.
Body
so
tea.
I'm just happy that Bad Bunny seems to be allegedly back with his Puerto Rican girl. We love that, and all is right in the world. Maybe this is what we needed for things to get back on track in the world. Shout out to Bad Bunny. That makes me
Listen,
happy.
I'm a supporter and an advocate for love. I know it may not seem like it because I mentioned that him and Kendall Jenner, listen, if he ended up falling in love with her and they ended up lasting forever together, that's none of my business, honestly. So it's like, I'd have been, okay, cool. That's what's up. Do you? But like, I don't know. I'm an advocate because I watch so many Hallmark shows, Hallmark movies, and read a lot of books. Like, that rekindling that one that got away. Now, I don't know nothing about Bad Bunny and his dating history with her, but I was just like, in my head, I like to think like, oh, she was the one who got away, or like it was like a case of like right person, wrong time, and now we found our time, because I'm a hopeless romantic at heart.
We love that. So shout out to them. And I think like he's mentioned her name and stuff in several songs. So it's just like, child, ladies, when it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Let him go with the people that he think he gonna be with, child. That's fine. He gonna come right back home.
I'm gonna smack you in the back of your neck, because
say no to violence. But anyways, on that note, let us move over to our sports corner. You got 24 seconds and it's starting right now.
Hey,
so our sports corner this week is a bit short, but I feel like because this story has really been talked about in all shape, ways, and forms, right? So the Winter Olympics are now over, but we still have some sort of rumblings from the U.S. hockey team, okay? Happy to announce that the women and the men's U.S. hockey team won gold in their respective games, so shout out to them. But here's where the drama lies, okay? So after both the U.S. men's and women's Olympic hockey team won gold at the 2026 Winter Olympics, a phone call from President Trump to the men's team sparked controversy, right? During the call, Trump joked that he, quote, would probably be impeached if he didn't invite the women's team to the State of the Union, and several of the men were heard laughing, which many fans and commentators felt came off as disrespectful to the women's champion. I'm going to play the video on this great YouTube person. Was not a person, child. It's a report that puts everything in perspective, because if you're a visual person like me, you trying to see who these people are. So let me just play this and we will respond after.
Men's gold medal Olympic hockey team. Come on in.
The president hailed them as heroes at the State of the Union, hosted them in the Oval Office.
I'm not giving it back.
And on a call with FBI Director Kash Patel, invited the U.S. men's Olympic team to the White House when they won gold.
We're going to have to bring the women's team. You do know that.
Absolutely.
I do believe I probably would be impeached, okay?
Now it's the president's words and the laughter that has some people taking sides.
I just thought the joke was distasteful.
The U.S. women's hockey team also won historic Olympic gold. And today, team captain Hillary Knight weighing in on GMA.
Our words matter and how we speak about women matters, and we need to celebrate this team.
Now, men's hockey goaltender Jeremy Swayman says the men should have reacted differently during the locker room moment. Other Team USA members talking about the camaraderie between the men's and women's teams at the Olympics.
I know that there's been like so much headlines and, about us and the women's hockey team and, the video, but we hung out we're in the cafeteria with them at 3:30 in the morning.
So my whole thing is, do I feel like what Trump said is uber offensive? Not really. But I think where the issue lies is women do so much more than men, and men get they do bare minimum, and it's oh my God. We literally did the same thing as they did, but we're kind of put to the side. It's oh, well, if we don't invite them, then I'm gonna get impeached. It's just women do so much things, and it's never kind of acknowledged to the same level, and it is exhausting. Men, no shade, y'all get rewarded for bare minimum every single day, and it's just exhausting. The same work and ethic that the U.S. men's hockey team put in, the women did the same, if not more. We get periods. We have so many other hormonal and just things that come with simply just being a woman. And for the U.S. president, mind you, we are here representing your country, and for you to say that is just weird behavior. Please get a grip. And then, although the U.S. women's hockey team didn't go to the State of the Union, they said it was because a schedule conflict. They did end up going to the White House, and President Trump served them McDonald's. If I am being invited to the White House to eat and I am being served McDonald's, huh?
But I don't think that's his first time bringing
No, I know, but it's just baby, that might have been a cute bit. Let's wrap that up. And no shade to McDonald's, because I like me a McChicken and a McFlurry, but not at the White House.
Yeah, when I saw this, I saw some people are I think it would bother me more from the aspect of the U.S. men's team rather than the fact of Trump making that little joke, because I don't expect much from a man who said grab her by the pussy and was still put into office, right? So to me, anything Trump does, I just be okay. Right. And it's I'm not saying that's okay, but at the end of the day, what I'm gonna do? He's still in office. Y'all kept him there. So it is what it is. So one of the interviews they showed some of the people who were on the US men's team for the Olympics, right? And it's just you're sitting here talking about we sat in the cafeteria at 3:00 in the morning together, and we was just real cool. Sir, don't tell me, don't speak highly about me when the camera is on you, but when people are trying to make light of me, you want to sit there and be hockey key. It's kind of similar to the situation that we talked about with the shits and gigs, right? How it's just they came out and they were we support Black women, we love Black women, this was just us being uncomfortable and things like that and laughing. Sometimes if something is disrespectful to if someone makes a joke about Shayla, and I already know that it's going to be as close as I am to Shayla, and I already know it's going to bother Shayla, I'm going to make sure I make a conscious effort, even in moments of awkwardness, that I respect Shayla. Right?
Yeah. And also it's it matters more how you talk about me and defend me when I am not there present in the flesh than when I'm in front of you. Because it's in front of me, I really don't care, because especially the both of us, we're real outspoken. So I don't need nobody. And I'll be telling Rebecca this. I'm I appreciate you, sis, but I really don't need anybody to be my spokesperson, because God has blessed. I don't have a lot of things, but when it comes to this mouth, honey, I am very quick to defend myself and speak up. That was never a lack here. But it's I don't care how you speak about me when I'm here, because I got me. is when I'm not there that you should have been like, and I get it, like things are easier said than done, like after the fact, like, oh, I woulda, shoulda, coulda, woulda, you know how that means. But it's like, y'all know how much it takes to win this gold medal. So it's like, oh, well, no, they actually deserve to be there too. You know what I mean?
Like, so for me, it's like, even though it's the president, I know people are like, oh, it's like the president, you know, you can't just not laugh. Who said that? I know Mamdani, when he went to the White House, he wasn't laughing at everything Trump said. I just know it. Right?
Well, we hope. We don't know. We hope.
Facts. Fingers crossed, right? So it's like, for me, it's just like Shayla said, I don't really care about you sitting here talking about, oh, we were together at 3:00 in the morning, like this, that, and the third. Like, we had such a good friendship, this, that, and the third. Because in the moments where disrespect was presented against me and my team, y'all sat there and chose to laugh instead of sitting there, and y'all could have been silent. And I know some people are like, oh, some of them laughed. That was a hearty laugh amongst the group. Dag. Ain't no way 3 people laughed and it sounded like that. It sounded like everybody was
Yeah. And of course, to wrap it up, President Trump is just so, I can't even, like, the fact that the president, and I get it, like, respectability politics is also a thing, but like, as a president, the men and the women did the same thing. So it's just like, you trying to, oh, if I don't invite them, like, boy, it's so annoying. And the fact that a president is acting like that is so annoying. Shout out to Flavor Flav, because he is trying to set something up for as he always does, honestly. One thing about him, he gonna step for the women Olympic athletes. So he's trying to set something up in Las Vegas
from a man who had a show called Flavor of Love. Okay.
Yes, honey. So shout out to Flavor Flav. He's trying to do what President Trump seems to not care to do, child. Who knows? If you made it this far, thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. In honor of my birthday this Sunday, make sure you comment a little cake. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. Make sure you follow us on all our social media platforms at Too Much SB, and we will see you guys.
I just want to say again, happy birthday to Shayla. Shayla, I love you down.
Thank you. Love you too.
Already know we've been locked in for so many years. And I just want to say, I'm so glad I was able to spend all the birthdays I've been able to spend with you since I've gotten to know you. I kind of wish I knew you earlier in life so we could celebrate more together. But it's okay, because we got all of life. And I know earlier I was saying 29 is something serious, but to see how you've grown from the moment that we met to this age is like, I just adore everything about you. And I just want the best for you. I saw how last year was for you, and it was real hard. And like 28 was something for you. Okay, baby.
Sure
you learned a lot. And so I just can't wait to see how everything you learned from 28 is going to progress into 29, into 30, into 31, baby. Because you know, we getting there. And I really do hope you find your husband this year, because I know that's
Thank you. We appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. We will see you guys next Friday.
Bye.